Emulate the taste of like non-chicken nuggets. So, these nuggets are made from chicken, but they're made to emulate the taste of non-chicken nuggets. Dope.
Oh, that's much better.
Edit all the blather out of your videos because my time is very precious.
Oh, that's fire.
Make it less teal and more
Cerulean? Sure.
Replace your background with something more fun? The cold void of outer space.
Let's boost that sound quality. Emulate the taste of non-chicken nuggets. Emulate the taste of non-chicken nuggets. Dope.
It needs more style. It needs more clips, more gifs, more. Well, I might have made it too gnarly.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, Harmony, and hello to all of you out there in the wide world on this absolutely cracking Friday, Junior. And we are excited to be with you here today. So, Harmony, how's it going?
So far, so good. Yeah, the sun is shining in San Diego. I think the rain is done, hopefully now. So yeah, excited to be joining you today and talking about how you can upgrade your screencasts.
We talk a lot about a lot of different workflows on these webinars together. And one of the ones that we hear about a lot when we talk to our customers is it's hard to capture content. It's hard to make sure you keep it up to date. And you're doing a lot of screencasts. You need to show people how things work. You need to make training and learning material. You need to make educational material, capturing your screen, make it all look polished and professional. And guess what? We have just the tool for you. So no, we're gonna go over a lot of cool stuff today. Disclaimer: this will not be like a 101 session, so we might go quick, might show you some cool things. But Harmony, I think we've got a fun aquatic themed day for everyone today.
We do indeed, and my background it's fitting too. So ready to launch into it.
Well, great. Well, let's I guess get started with a few things. So if you got questions, ask a question in the crowdcast. If you need help or want to see if what we're doing in greater detail, help.descript.com, a good place to check out and follow along what we're doing here. This will be recorded. There will be a recording on YouTube available for you to play anytime, day or night, after this broadcast. So take a look out for that. And we're going to go over a lot of cool stuff today. Harmony, what did I miss?
No, I think you got it. We're also going to be offering a free month of Descript Pro at the very end. So we'll provide a promo code. And at the end, we'd also love to get your feedback on how we're doing on these sessions. So stick around and we'd love to hear from you.
Okay, so let's get started with that code. If you are a new subscriber and you sign up and you use the code screencast at checkout for Descript Pro, you get a free month, which is pretty cool. So hopefully you can take some of the things you learn in this session, try them out yourself, and then fall in love with Descript forever. It happened to me. Joking aside, a good way to get started, test it out for your team, show it off to some people that you work with. I think a great way to test that out. Harmony, should we maybe do some little introductions and then kind of talk about some of the problems we're going to work on solving today?
Absolutely. Yeah, go for it, Jack.
Okay, cool. Well, good to be with you again. My name's Jack. I work on the sales and success team here at Descript. I've been here for almost 3 years and excited to take some of the things that we've learned from working with our clients, hands-on, learning some about their problems, some of their solutions, and how we can help and show that off to you today. So I've worked in television and also in corporate marketing. So seen a lot of interesting ways to use creative material and learned a lot from our customers over the last couple of years. So how about you, Harmony?
Yeah, well, coming up, actually just hit the 2-year mark at Descript, so super excited about that. I work in the success side, so I help new teams get onboarded, be set up for success in the app. It's definitely not like a one size fits all experience. So we'll look at your workflow, figure out where Descript fits into it, and ensure that you and your team are um, trained up and ready to go. And my background's in e-learning, so I've used various systems in the past for creating screen recordings, whether it's Camtasia or Loom. And the thing that I love about Descript is that I can use it to record, I can use it to edit, I can use Overdub to fix all the words that I mess up, and then easy publishing. So I just wish I had had it a few years ago.
Even better, we got him when we're 40. No, that's I had to lean into the Step Brothers joke. So
There you go.
so let's start with a poll. We've heard some interesting, ways that people are using screencasts, interesting ways that, problems that people are having as part of that. So today we're going to focus on 4 challenges. And Harmony, maybe you want to walk us through kind of what we've heard from some of our customers.
Yeah, I think with teams that are creating a ton of content, just staying organized with it is one thing. So where is it all stored? Where do people provide feedback? How do they kind of triage like when and if something needs to get updated? Which brings me to the second point. It's painful to keep content up to date, so when and if, you need to update a training material, update company messaging, or whatever the case may be, it's tough to keep that stuff up to date. Um, the third thing that we hear is that collaborating and working with subject matter experts can sometimes be tricky because they'll send off something for review. You'll get feedback in emails or Google Docs or Word docs, and it's hard to consolidate all of that feedback and review and approval. And then the last thing is just, having that ability to quickly iterate and maintain a lot of content without breaking your budget. So again, I appreciate Descript for being kind of that one-stop shop experience for doing all of the above here.
And okay, a couple last things. Let's also let's run that poll because we want to know from you. As we talk about those problems that we've heard, what problems are you encountering? Those, or it could be something totally different. Throw some comments in the chat as well if there's something else that you want to see. We got some time to address your questions today, so helps us come up with good ideas for how to keep these fresh as well. But yeah, here's a couple more ground rules, I guess, for a fun and safe play environment today. Ask us a question in the Ask a Question session. Throw comments in the chat. Sometimes we'll freeze. Hit refresh in your browser, Command R on a Mac, and we'll hopefully be back in chatting with you. And then we've got our Discord and Help Center for other things. So cool.
Okay.
What else did I miss, Harmony? Oh,
and then use that promo code at checkout.
Cool. Okay, I can see the poll going through here. Looks like staying organized, keeping things up to date, okay. Budget, all of the above, a little bit of something. Okay, so some of the things that we're hearing from our customers are some of the things that you want to talk about today. So Harmony, maybe we should dive in and take it from here and go ahead and get started with our or maybe we should explain our themed approach today.
Yeah, what do you want to I'll share my screen and you can give everyone kind of a quick overview.
Sounds great. So we talked to a lot of customers, and one that we've never talked to is a Department of Marine Biology. So we're gonna act like we're marine biologists today, and we're creating a presentation on manatees and why they are the Cadillac of the sea. So naturally, what did we do? We went into ChatGPT and we asked for a couple of prompts. Why are manatees the Cadillac of the sea? And gave us some great answers. So and also gives me a chance to promo our cool new GPT-4 integration coming very soon. So I think that's a good thing to maybe check out on the Descript homepage, sign yourself up and get access to early, which will be pretty cool. And make some of these things easy. So Harmony, or Dr. Harvey, where should we go from here now that we're ready to set up and do a screencast? We're ready to start sharing content. Where should we start?
Yes, indeed. So I think I'm maybe just going to give a quick overview of how the screen recorder can be used. So Jack and I are primarily going to be focusing on sort of this PowerPoint and voiceover experience. All that to say, you can also use it for even video messaging. Like one of my goals this year is to send fewer emails and send a video message instead. So if as a member of the Descript marine biology team, I need to send Jack a message saying, "Hey, we need to get down to Florida and, go see what's going on with the manatees." I could just hit this recording button here, and I can choose to record both either my screen and my camera, or I can do just a camera only recording. I can also do audio only. Jack, should I record something really quick, just like a normal video recording before we do the voiceover PowerPoint?
Yeah, let's do that. Get started with kind of like a simple video message, maybe just a feedback type or a email replacement use case.
Exactly. So I'm just to kind of show you how I got here. I came up here to either the record button right here or directly within my Descript project. So I'm going to hit start recording. I'm going to make sure that I've got my settings right here. So I'm going to use my MacBook microphone and I'm going to use my ProStream webcam. And now I'm going to hit record here. Good thing I've got the countdown too. Hey, Jack, Harmony here. Thanks so much for your feedback on my manatee slide. I think I want to spend a little bit more time on slides 4 and 5, but we'll see you in Zoom shortly, and we'll cover what needs to be edited down. All right. Going to hit stop. And so now I've got my recording that I've just created here. I'm going to play this back. Hey, Jack, Harmony here. Thanks so much for your feedback on my manatee slide. All right, so you're going to be hearing my voice a lot today, so I'll stop there. The nice thing is that I can go in, use one of our magic features here, remove those filler words. I can either get rid of all the ums or repeated words. So maybe I'll just get rid of these guys and apply to all. And now it's zapped my ums and uhs. So it'll remove that audio and video. And if I think this is ready to go, I might get rid of that word all right as well. And then hit publish. And the cool thing is that I can publish this as a web link, send the link to Jack. He can review it really quick. And I've got my video message kind of one and done.
And you can add studio sound too.
Exactly. So studio sound, Jack, do you want to explain what studio sound is?
Yeah, studio sound is a way to take any quality audio and make it sound like it's in a crisp, clear podcast studio. So way to remove background noise, make your own voice sound deeper and richer. And just a good way to take audio that might not have been usable before and use it. Maybe you're in a coffee shop, people are talking, or, you're at the busy marine biology department, lounge. Good ways to just make some of these messages stand out a little more cleanly.
Exactly. And it does really, you'll see I'm using a pretty decent microphone here. I'm using an MV7 Shure. So here it is without studio sound. Hey, Jack, Harmony here. Thanks so much for your feedback on my manatee slide. I think I want to spend a little bit more time on slides 4 and 5. So you'll notice it's kind of like gotten rid of some of the room reverberation and it's cleaned it up. It sounds like I'm talking up close to my mic. So I use this all the time, even for just, short videos that I need to send off. Awesome. Jack, is there anything else we should cover just with like creating those quick video messages, or does that cover it?
I think it's one just good thing to know about for sure. A great way to give feedback to people. I think there's some cool ways to use it. But I think, there's maybe a good segue here to, starting to take some of these video messages or what you might kind of use as an asynchronous presentation in a more structured way. So let's say we take our slides, we start adding more things to it. one of the value of a screencast is being able to take, what was a static presentation and now give it your voice and give it maybe some music and give it, be able to edit so you're not kind of rambling through a presentation or something like that. The ability to give kind of the crisp, clean presentation that you've always wanted. So maybe let's kind of take it from there, like one step up. How do I kind of start doing this like voice over PowerPoint workflow, or what are some ways that I can do it? What's the first way that you would start to recommend?
Yeah, so I would open up just a blank composition, which can kind of think as a blank Word doc almost, and then have Descript open along with your slides. So the nice thing is that once I start recording, I can navigate around within my slides. I'll be able to select a range of things that I want to show during my screen recording. But the first thing I would do actually before I start recording, you want to make sure that your settings are configured so that you're recording in the highest quality possible. So if we click on the recorder settings here, can configure a few things. So we can set our transcription language. We do multi-language transcription in 20 languages, or 23 now, I think. We can highlight when the mouse is clicking around, so that's good, especially for instructional content. Um, you might also want to see that countdown, which you saw earlier. You can disable that if you'd like. But most importantly, we want to adjust our maximum recording resolution. Usually I just boost this all the way up to 4K. And then we've got that set. And then normally I have computer audio disabled, but if there's something that I'm recording on my screen that is going to maybe provide like video or any audio, I'll turn that on. Jack, what am I missing here?
And Harmony, you can also turn on studio sound to be defaulted on all your recordings here, right?
Exactly. So let's see here. If I go into the speaker label section here, and I might as well add this while I'm here, add my speaker. And then if I go into my input settings, I can turn studio sound on. I can have transcription turned on. If we have multiple speakers, can set up separate audio tracks as well.
Yeah, so a couple cool ways to do, work with your content in a few different ways. And Harmony, somebody brought this up. Studio sound can be really useful if you're underwater interviewing manatees. So thank you for that. That's great content there. We appreciate that. And also I'll say the multi-track screen recording is a pretty new feature, but cool if maybe you want to bump over the audio just a little bit to be more in line with the slide, or maybe you want to cut the video out and replace it with something. We'll go more in depth on that soon, but we're going to do some kind of simpler workflows first.
Definitely. And I'm just going to click out of this. The other thing worth mentioning, we're going to do voiceover slides, but it's also worth mentioning that you can write out an entire script, and we're going to show this in a minute. Write the whole thing out, kind of use it just as you would a Google Doc, then use Overdub, start applying some visuals, and your video will like come to life literally within seconds and minutes here. But Jack, what do you think? Should we just record a little bit with these slides?
Yeah, I think this is a good way to then take it from like a video message to maybe something a little bit more structured. Maybe in the bubble, we just record over discussing some of these slides and then start to kind of build that into a more structured presentation.
Great. So in that case, I'm going to go ahead and hit start recording, and we're going to do screen recording, and I'm going to make sure I got my settings right. Okay, excellent. And now I'm going to hit record, and I'm going to select this range. This is all I want to incorporate. All right. And got my countdown. Good afternoon and welcome to the Department of Marine Biology at Descript. We're going to be covering a few slides here today. The first one is that everyone should know that manatees are aquatic mammals and that they're known for their docile nature and gentle disposition. Should also know that they're often referred to as the gentle giants of the sea due to their massive size and slow-moving nature. Okay. And okay, in this next slide, as you can see, they exude elegance and grace, and it's just their manatees are just so wonderful, Jack. All right. And then in this last slide, it's good to note that manatees are known as one of the most graceful swimmers in the sea with their slow and elegant movements. Okay, I think we've got about a minute here, so I'm going to push stop. And got Descript back here. Cool. So you can see now that it's transcribed everything. It's captured my slides over here on the right. The nice thing is that since I recorded my camera kind of in the side, I can also move myself around based on where we want to see that. And the nice thing now, one of the updates with our screen recorder is that it records as a multi-track sequence. So when and if you need to go in, change your visuals, it's really easy to update the video without affecting the audio. Jack, should we start making some edits? Where
Yeah.
should we start with this?
Let's maybe cut out some of the things that we didn't need, some of the stumbles. So filler words, the obvious place to start. And then, maybe let's make a fix with overdub.
Great. All right, here. So I'm just going to make my screen a little bit bigger. I want to make sure everyone's seeing this okay. I want to crease one more time. Okay, perfect. So the first thing I'll do is, let's get rid of these filler words. So I'm going to go up to my magic menu, remove those filler words. And in this case, I'm going to choose to, instead of fully delete, I like using the strike feature. That way, if Jack and I are collaborating on this project together, Jack can see like the editorial decisions that I've made. So I'm going to choose to ignore. And so you'll notice that when we make those edits, it's going to create a brief jump cut. So let's take a quick listen back here now that we've made a couple edits.
Marine biology at Descript. We're going to be covering a few slides here today. The first one is that everyone should know that
Great. So one thing that I'm noticing, Jack, as I'm listening back, we had studio sound turned on, and generally studio sound does really well when your audio isn't optimal. So I'm going to go into my audio effects here. I'm going to turn this down to about like 80 because it sounded like I was actually underwater a little bit. So there we go.
Yeah, and that intensity slider is great to know about too, because every situation is a little different. The AI is not going to be perfect and perfectly kind of read it every time. So that slider is great for leaving even a little background noise if you're in a noisy environment to make it sound natural.
Exactly. Great. And so what if, like, let's say I wanted to replace this image. Let's say I wanted to, let's see here. So right before how about here? Yep. I'm going to add what we call a scene. So Jack, do you want to explain what a scene is real quick?
Yeah, so scenes are almost like slides for video. So a scene is basically just capturing a piece of your video. And the beauty of Descript is it allows you to move those scenes as easily as you would move a slide in a slide deck, right? How many times if you had a slide at the end and someone says, actually, I think that should go at the beginning or the other way around. You can do the exact same thing in Descript. As if you've got a segment of the video that you need to move or a visual, you can grab what you need and just move it around and not mess up anything else. Because that's always been one of the hard things about video editing is what's going to happen when I move one thing. Everything else kind of falls like a Jenga. Hopefully that's what scenes can help you work with.
Exactly. So I've made a scene here in this first paragraph. And so if I wanted to replace this image with, let's say, some B-roll instead, I came up here into our stock media library. I went into the video section. We also have images, sound effects, music. So I'm just going to grab this one here. So I'm going to select it, drop it in here. And we're going to notice that, okay, cool. It's dropped it in full size. So I'm going to shrink this down a little bit. And let's see here, resize it. Cool. And so now, oops, we actually only want it here. Okay. I want to move this over.
Yeah, and this is one of the great things about scenes is if I have something I need to change only for a certain segment of the video, I set a scene in, I set a scene out. I change something, and it only is reflected in that scene.
Great. So I'm going to add it there instead. And perfect. All right, shrink it back down. So now we'll see that transition from here.
Few slides here today. The first one is that everyone should know that manatees are aquatic mammals and that they're known for their docile nature.
And I can move that scene really easily if I just move it over like so. And that'll just adjust that edit point there in the script without having to go down into the timeline and move things around. You can do it all right from within the script. Easy, right, Jack?
I think that's pretty awesome. I mean, and hopefully you can see how simple it was to take what would have been, just a PowerPoint or just a slide deck. It would have been static, but now you can give voice to it. You can add a little video. You can, make video as easily as making a slide deck. And I think that's a really powerful way to use screencasts, right?
Exactly.
Is just giving that depth of voice and depth of explanation that just doesn't come through in a slide deck.
Precisely.
Harmony, I want to start moving on to our next workflow.
Yeah.
And I think this was a great prompt that made me think of it. How do we do the voiceover over video? So like if I have video that I want to describe, like you're doing the PowerPoint. So I think this is a good way to show how you can start from a blank document, write in, and then, basically voice over a PowerPoint just by using Overdub. So I don't even have to sit and record myself. We showed you how to record yourself and add some scenes and add topics, but what if I just want to start from scratch? I don't want to read, my voice is shot that day. Let's use Overdub to bring a presentation to life without even, recording it myself.
Perfect. So we, in order to get this text, we just gave ChatGPT a little prompt. What was the prompt that we gave it?
I said, I think I need, hopefully
it was like 12 bullet points,
yeah,
right?
I need 12 reasons why manatees are the Cadillac of the sea. So here they are, according to ChatGPT, the 12 reasons
Perfect.
that manatees are the Cadillacs of the sea.
Outstanding. So I took that output text that I got from ChatGPT, copied and pasted right into Descript. And so now the awesome thing is that, to Jack's point, like let's say if he's lost his voice or we just don't want to hear the sound of our voices, we can go into the speaker label here and we can either use our existing Overdub voices. We can also use our pre-built stock voices that are available to you as well. In this case, I'm going to use our voices because why not? We're here. So I'm going to have Jack start off here. And maybe we want to rotate this. So maybe we want Jack to take the first point. The next one, I might want to associate my voice. So I'm going to use this plus button here. Speaker label. We're going to switch that to my voice. And let's see how this is. Sounding. Jack's voice, I've got to say, Jack's Overdub voice is very good. All right, and I'm going to wait for the second paragraph to finish. Okay, let's see how this is sounding.
Manatees are aquatic mammals that are known for their docile nature and gentle disposition.
These creatures are often referred to as the gentle giants of the sea due to their massive size and slow-moving nature, just like a Cadillac.
All right, so we might want to trade off a little bit more, so I can just go in, add that speaker label, switch to Jack. You can also use the @ symbol to change the Overdub voice. So super simple. And from here, you can actually start adding visuals. So if I wanted to take, this first sentence here, go up to my stock media library, I'm going to find some of this B-roll here that I want to use. So drag that in. And let me grab one more for that second sentence. And that one looks good. All right. And I might want to also add captions to this video. So if I'm going to come up to the text icon here, I'm going to add captions. And that'll add a layer down here. let's see. Where'd my captions go? Moving them.
And this is a good thing to note too. Over on the right side here, where the manatee video is, we call that the canvas. So down at the bottom where Harmony is adjusting right now, we call that the timeline. That's kind of the way editing has been done for many, many years. But there's a lot of things that you can do just by right-clicking and moving things around in the canvas, resizing, moving layers back and forth if you're familiar with Photoshop and the way layers work there. But the canvas is a great place to, we want to make it so you can edit something without touching the timeline if you don't want to. So between the script track and the canvas, there's a lot that you can do.
Exactly. So you kind of got like 3 main areas that you will probably be working from most of the time over here on the left with the script. Based on where you're clicking in the canvas, the properties panel will change over here. So if you want to change your font or fill color of the captions, you can configure all of that over here. And based on the layer that you're clicking on, you can move it forward or backward. So really easy to rearrange things. If you want to get super fancy, you could animate the captions in. So we have some of those animation features built in. But let's see how this is coming together.
Manatees are aquatic mammals that are known for their docile nature and gentle disposition.
These creatures are often referred to as the gentle giants of the sea due to their massive size and slow-moving nature.
Just like a Cadillac, manatees are luxurious creatures that exude elegance and grace.
Okay, this is looking pretty good.
I was going to say, watch out David Attenborough, because Blue Planet 4, oh, I don't know what Blue Planet they're on, but sorry. But we're coming for your job. Our Overdub voices are AI is taking this job, not us. So no, that's a joke. But I think it's pretty cool, right? Lots of interesting ways that I just went from like literally a chat GPT prompt to now I've got a video that works.
Exactly. And if there's like an extra bullet point maybe that you want to include that didn't get initially added, you can go into our script tools here and go into what we call write mode. So if there's some additional scripting that you want to do, just go click on write, and we'll go ahead and add some more. Just write it right in here, and then hit escape to get out of that write mode back into the of our normal editing mode, if you will. And you'll see that now when it underlines in blue, it's converting from text to speech. Right. The other thing, and from here, like the world is really your oyster. Let's say you want to add some music, go into, let's say, the music section, and we want something with like ocean vibes. And the cool thing is that you can listen to them, so you can audition each of those. I like the sound of ocean stories, so I'm just going to go for it. And we're going to bring that right into the very top. And this is another kind of good moment to talk about the timeline here. So if I want my music to start a little bit before the audio, I'm going to scoot this over a little bit.
Manatees are aquatic mammals that are known for their docile nature and gentle disposition.
These creatures are often...
All right, so pretty amazing.
Harmony, I'm ready for my big break. We're gonna go viral on
You're
YouTube
ready for prime time
with our manatee, lo-fi manatees to relax and study to content. So we've got a couple of great questions coming up in the chat. So I want to pause here and talk a little bit about. We've been talking about adding a lot of things to Overdub right now. Let's go back to some of the basics of Overdub. And I love some of these questions because there's so much you can do with it. But is it possible to start with just writing before you have a video? How do you fix the overdub of your own voice? Mine sounds really robotic. How can I adjust it to sound more human? So perfect question, because we've got 2 solutions for you. One is stock voices. So we have some 9 built-in stock voices already. Unfortunately, for the time being, Overdub is only in English. So we have 9 English stock voices, and you can only clone your voice in English. Stay tuned. We're working on trying to add more languages. Fingers crossed. But there's a couple of things that you can do if you're not using the stock voices to make your own voice sound better. One is add more training material. So we give you a script that you can read, and obviously provide your voice verification, your express verbal consent that you do want this voice created. But adding more training data does help. At least 30 minutes really helps the quality go up. You can do it with as little as 10 minutes, but if you go up to 30, spend that extra time doing it, it'll sound a lot better. The other thing that I'll say is you don't have to read the script we provide. You can read whatever you want. You can read the manatees Wikipedia page. You can read the marine biology Wikipedia page. You can read, I don't know, your favorite TikTok sounds directly into, we've shown you how easy it is to record right in here. So I would recommend that because that way you'll get out an overdub voice that sounds more like you. It won't sound like you reading something.
A script.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You're not going to get into, character. Like I remember the first time I created my overdub voice, it was something from a nature doc, and it just didn't sound like me. So you want to sound like your natural organic self.
Yeah. And then perfect segue question. Where do I find the option to add more training audio in Overdub?
Great. So you're going to, when you log into Descript, you're taken to this drive view. So this is your bird's eye of everything that's going on. So you're going to want to go to the voices section and then open up the voice that you want to work on. As you can see, you can create as many voices as you'd like. But the one that I want to work on is this one. So go ahead and open up that project. In this case, let's see, I've got about a little over 14 minutes. So if I've recorded something separate, just drag that file in, it will transcribe, and then you're going to want to hit the submit training data, and then that will start retraining your voice.
So good way to just, if you've already done the work and recorded something, you can just add more, or you can start from scratch. You can create as many overdub voices as you want. There's also ways to do styles and some things like that, but I want to get to this next question because I think it's super relevant for adding overdub to screencasts. And that's, how do I slow down my overdub voice? This is misspelled. Sorry, I totally mistyped this when I moved it from the chat to the banner. So is there a way to slow down our overdub voice? Yes, and this will help you because if you slow down your overdub voice, maybe the timing looks a little bit better, sounds a little bit better, sounds a little bit more like you. So Harmony, let's show them how we do that.
Yeah. So the first thing I do is I'll go in and convert to audio. So that will allow me to go in and adjust the clip speed of your overdub voice. So just going to do this to a couple of the paragraphs here. Once you've done that, then you can go over here into the properties panel, and we're going to show clips. And we're going to go into this first one, and we're going to slow this down. So generally, if you slow it down to about 0.9, that's kind of the sweet spot I've found. If you go to 0.8, it's going to start to sound a little bit robotic. So I'm going to do 0.9. We'll do this here for this paragraph as well. 0.9. And then let's see how this is sounding.
Manatees are aquatic mammals that are known for their docile nature and gentle disposition.
These creatures are often referred to as the gentle giants of the sea due to their massive size and slow-moving nature.
Cool. So pacing's a little bit better. You can also use punctuation, add additional paragraphs, breaks to adjust the overall pacing as well. Jack, what else would you add with regard to adjusting the overall speed?
Yeah, I would say, could we show them just a little bit how to pull out the time, maybe give yourself some longer pauses between sentences? Because that's a question I hear a lot too.
Yeah. What do you usually do? Do you add like a paragraph break or a period?
Usually what I'll do is I'll go down to the timeline and just like pull them apart till it kind of sounds right.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're creating like some gap clips.
So I'm usually creating some word gaps, yeah.
Got it. So I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab onto the word bar. And you can see just creating that little gap clip here. And might want a little bit of space before the word gentle giant. Give a little pause. And a gentle disposition, like so. Should we see how that's sounding? Cool.
Let's do it.
Known for their docile nature and gentle disposition.
These creatures are often referred to as the gentle giants of the sea due to their massive size and slow.
Yeah, so maybe maybe it's a little awkward in a sentence. Maybe it sounds good in a sentence. Maybe it sounds better between words or sentences. It's not a live demo. If something doesn't break, you can tell we are doing this live. But I think it's a great thing to just experiment with. Find that timing, and as you lay things over, even if you're not using music, even if you're just using static slides, there's some great ways to make your overdub voice just sound a little more natural there.
Exactly. Generally I like to add those gap clips like in between sentences, not necessarily words, but if you do want to add for a sort of more dramatic pause, you can come down to the timeline and mess around with that. Great questions.
Harmony, what else should we show with Overdub plus screencast, or have we kind of covered enough for today?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so in advance of today, I kind of wanted to show kind of like what this would look like soup to nuts of like starting in a blank composition. We kind of went from, just a simple script to adding some visuals. Here's kind of like what a final version could potentially look like. And the thing that I've done here with some of these visuals, you'll notice if we zoom in on the timeline, we've added some fades so you can have certain visuals fade in or animate in or out. You'll notice here on the left, we have, quite a number of different scenes. So just so that folks can kind of see what's possible, literally within, I think I made this in like 15 minutes. So should I go ahead and play this? This is only about a minute.
I would love to see it.
Okay, here we go. Let's make this a little bit bigger here. Okay.
Manatees are aquatic mammals that are known for their docile nature and gentle disposition.
These creatures are often referred to as the gentle giants of the sea due to their massive size and slow-moving nature.
Just like a Cadillac, manatees are luxurious creatures that exude elegance and grace.
Manatees are known to be one of the most graceful swimmers in the sea, with their slow and elegant movements.
These creatures have a sleek and streamlined body shape, just like a Cadillac, which allows them to move through the water with ease.
Manatees are also known for their soft, velvet-like skin, which is similar to the luxurious leather seats found in a Cadillac.
The gentle and peaceful nature of manatees is similar to the smooth ride that a Cadillac provides.
Just like a Cadillac, manatees are a symbol of status and luxury in the marine world.
These creatures are often admired and coveted by tourists and locals alike, just as Cadillac cars are admired by many.
Manatees are also known for their long lifespans, which can last up to 60 years, similar to the longevity of a well-maintained Cadillac.
The unique and majestic appearance of manatees is similar to the iconic design of a Cadillac car, with its sleek lines and impressive form.
Manatees are truly the Cadillac of the sea, a luxurious and majestic creature that deserves to be admired and respected.
All right, so there you've got a minute video, and actually this is a good opportunity to talk about publishing, right?
Yeah, I'm getting emotional. Looking about, our work on manatees here at the Descript Department of Marine Biology is about to be so widely respected because of your work, Harmony.
Well,
So
I'm going to be starting
that.
to recruit very soon.
Yeah, so that's a shout out to all of you. Descript.com/careers, Marine Biology Division. Just scroll way down.
Yeah.
Let's maybe talk about publishing, and then Harmony, I want to save a few minutes because we've got some really good specific questions in the chat. So maybe there's a few things we can roll over with that after we talk about ways to publish these screencasts to all the different ways you want them out.
So let's say I'm done with my video and I want you to, can you please review? So Jack will pop in here. He might respond and give me some feedback. So that's the nice thing, the collaborative aspect that you can do right in within projects. But now if he's given me the thumbs up, I can hit publish. And there's a number of ways we can get our material out. Let's start with the publish option. So if I want to take this, generate a web link, what this will do is it'll just give me a URL that I can send, and I can embed it or send it through Slack. So lots of different ways to utilize that publish option. So if I go into settings, I can turn on the transcript, allow for comments. I'm just going to go ahead and publish this so we can see an example. But there's other ways to publish out to some of our other partners. So you can publish it directly to YouTube. I don't know if my video is ready for YouTube, but you have that option here, or go out to some of these other publishing partners. Alternatively, you can also use the export option. So if you want to download that video locally to your machine, use video, you can adjust the resolution, go in and adjust your quality, add some metadata if you'd like, export, and that will download locally to your machine. You can create an audio only version. So if, for example, you want to get a WAV file, go ahead and export here. You can export GIFs, which are really nice. And then if you're going out to other professional tools like Pro Tools or Premiere, you can use that. You can also generate a transcript. By default, you'll have some options here, RTF, DocX, and you can also get subtitles. So I think I've covered all of the ways that you can export. But in this case, I'd probably just download my video or use that publish option. And if I open up this publish page, let me show you what this will look like. I'll bring this right on over. Here's what this will look like. But it'll follow along in the transcript. Makes it really easy to search key terms. I can grab this iframe embed. So again, lots of different ways you can experiment with the publishing options.
And Harmony, this leads me to a couple of our good specific questions. This one from one of our guests. That shot was a walrus. So much for Planet Old Circles. Sorry. We're not apologizing.
I was moving too quickly.
Because no, this is a perfect chance for us to show how you can easily fix and republish your screencast in Descript. Harmony, this is why we are going to be a worldwide leading marine biology department, because we have Descript.
Exactly. So let's see here. Where was it? Is it this one, right? Need to swap this out?
To be honest, I don't know which shot was a walrus, but
Let's say
this was a walrus.
Okay, cool. My bad. So I'm going to hit, or I'm going to right click, delete. And so now I'm going to come back up to my media library. I can find something different. Let's get a proper manatee here. Find the thing that you want. And let's use this one. Bring that right down. Okay, cool. And I'm just going to slide this over. Great. There's a number of ways you could do this too. You can drag it right into the scene in the scene rail here, or bring it onto the text itself. But now it'll just replace that easily.
Manatees are also known for their...
Right? So it's super easy to swap out your imagery or B-roll.
And there we go. Then it's easy to republish, take that video wherever you want it. So for all you walrus, eagle-eyed walrus watchers out there, there's ways that we can fix that. So Harmony, let's go over maybe 10 minutes kind of rapid fire on some kind of good questions that people threw us.
Let's go.
This one I think is an important one. How do you use a gap clip when it's a video? And maybe this, I'm pulling something apart and I get a black screen. What are some ways that I can use to fill in the gaps there?
Yeah. So if you've got kind of like what we're doing here, is this what you're alluding to, Jack, right?
Yeah. So, one thing, if you use overdub on a sequence, it'll create a black screen.
Yeah.
If you pull things apart or are working on timing, you might get a few black frames. And obviously we don't want it to dip to black. How can I kind of make sure that my B-roll covers things nicely? Maybe how do I freeze frame? How do I just stretch the content I have a little longer?
Totally. So I can, one thing that you can do is you can go into your layers here, and if you hover over a specific layer that you want to stretch out, just hover over the end of that layer and just stretch it out like so. That way you'll still get the visual without, the audio, and you could supplement that with like the new audio that you want to generate. So that's certainly one option. You could also, move these across scene boundaries. So if you want this to stretch across that gap clip, right, you can move it over from one scene boundary to another. You can also just replace something. So if we want to go into images, find it. No, it's stock images of a manatee. Come on.
Well, just wait till the world finds about our work, Harmony. There we go. That's a whale. Okay.
That's fine. I'll insert it.
Don't come after us in the comments here.
Okay. There we go. So we'll insert some whales. That's fine. So you can do that. And then once you've got that image in there, you can stretch it out if you'd like. So are we getting to that question, Jack?
Yeah, I think that's a great way to do it. We provide lots and lots of material there to grab some, either grab the handles of the B-roll you're using and pull that out, which Harmony can, or move that around a little bit. Yeah, that's a perfect way to do it. Grab a new image, fill that in. Do we show freeze frames yet? Sorry.
I don't think so. Let me go ahead.
Yeah, so this is probably the last trick that I'll use too. If you need just a few extra seconds, maybe freeze or slow down your video too. Just like we showed you with slowing down an overdub voice, you can make everything go a little bit slower and give yourself some more time.
Exactly. So I'm going to scoot this over so we can, if you right click, add freeze frame. And by default, I think it does a second. So then you can stretch out that freeze frame to last a little bit longer. Right. And then so now you've got, that extra second or so. So again, just to repeat, just right click on the track where you want to create a freeze frame and then select add freeze frame. And then you'll see that extend out a little bit further.
Yeah, that's perfect. So lots of different ways to cover those black frames, which I think is awesome. So, all right, Harmony, you ready for the next question?
Let's go.
Can the video size be set to, in this case, they asked for 9:16, but I'm going to just say, can the video size be set to whatever I want? So let's show them how we do that.
Yeah, it's a great question. So let's say you want to take the whole video and switch to 9:16. In the canvas here, you've got this option to update your video settings. So in this case, I might go to 9:16. Right. And then, the whole video will be in that new format. You could also, one trick I like using is taking my sort of master video, duplicating it, and then creating a version for that new size that you need it for. So then at that point, you can do that one by one, or get that 9:16, and then you've got sort of that second version in that updated format.
So this can be also fully customizable as well. So you can set this to whatever size you want.
If you go into advanced, you go ahead and you can adjust the settings here.
Yeah. Cool. Let's talk about one more video editing basic. Can we demonstrate how to crossfade? I love this. Good question for, maybe we've covered up those black frames, but we want to get some of these smooth, comfortable transitions. How do I make those calm, silky crossfades?
You got it. So a couple of things. We could, let's see here. Don't want to do that. If I hover over the track where I want to do a fade or crossfade, go ahead and click on this little, when you hover over the track, you're going to see that little white circle. So go ahead and click on that. And then we're just going to drag it right. So you can start to see it kind of fading out, right? You can do that on the opposite side as well. So then you'll see it start to fade and fade back in position.
These creatures are often referred to as...
Right. So, and then on your script track, if that's where you have your original video, you'll be able to go in and crossfade from here as well. Did I get to that question all right?
Yeah, I think that's great. So yeah, I think that also answers this question about smoothing transitions between jump cuts as well.
Mm.
I can cover those with B-roll. I can crossfade them. There's some ways that that I can do that, and hopefully make it really, really easy with Descript. So yeah, crossfades are a great way to do, or fade ins, fade outs are a great way to do this too, if you're not crossfading as well.
Yeah.
How about, can you show me where you dropped in the background music?
Yeah.
We sourced our own from Descript stock library. You can also pull one out of, if you've got music that you use, corporate music, whatever beats you love to edit to. You can pull these into the file drawer right here.
Exactly. So go up to your media library, go into music or even sound effects. Find something here. All right. So just select it, drop it in your script, and you'll see that track get added here. So
Hey, Jack, Harmony here.
okay. And actually, one thing, since we're talking about this, one thing when you add music, I like to add the ducking audio effect. What that'll do is it'll bring the music down so that it won't be like covering up your voice completely. So if you go into dynamics, ducking, that'll help auto adjust the levels for you.
That's awesome. Okay, Harmony, I got one more rapid fire questions, and then we'll start closing up shop for the afternoon. Can you review how to do captions from the text into video? And then that leads me to one more question. So let's say I want that humanity, that beautiful "Oh, the humanity" caption.
Yeah.
I want all my captions to look like that. I mean, why wouldn't I? How do I do that?
Yeah. So one thing you can do, so since we have a bunch of scenes, if we want captions to span the full duration of our video, I'm going to select all. And then if you go up to the text icon here, we're going to go and select captions. Cool. So now we see that new layer that's been incorporated down here in the timeline as well. So, and if I click on that layer, I can now go into my properties. I might want to change the fill color. I can change the style of the text, show the active and future word color. So now we've got
Creatures are often admired and coveted.
and so it's as simple as that. And the thing is that you'll want to make sure that your transcript over here on the left is as accurate as possible, because the captions are generating based on your transcript over here on the left.
And these captions totally customizable. So if you've got your own custom font, your own brand, colors, you want it to have a gradient, or look like any text under the sun, you can make that happen. So lots of cool ways that you can do stuff there, like pick your own hex code as well for colors. So that's awesome. This then also, Harmony, leads me to my next question.
Yeah.
How can I set a default position for all the subtitles? So I'm going to say, hey, this is one other great thing you can do with Descript's screencasts is I can create templates that make all of my screencasts look amazing. In fact, there's so much I can do with templates.
Totally. So I'll one thing I'll just grab my cool. I'll use this. So if I go into templates, you can create custom templates, but we also have a whole gallery of pre-made templates if you need a little inspiration to get started. But I'll go ahead and grab, let's see, I'll go into my Descript at work, and I'm going to use this one that I had created for one of our influencers. So I'm going to click on that. And great. So I created this as a square. So I'm going to match that orientation. And this is not Petro. This is, oops. And I might want to center that. Cool. And then it's got my captions already built in.
Harmony here. Thanks so much for your feedback on my...
Easy as that. On my manatee slides.
I mean, what a whirlwind of a day here, Harmony. We've covered a ton of stuff. So hopefully you all found this interesting. Unfortunately, this is where the marine biology department needs to go on lunch break. Kelp, seaweed.
Seaweed, yeah.
not
Red protein.
octopus. We don't eat octopus here. I've seen my octopus teacher. I'm not going to eat an octopus. But hopefully you all had fun today. We would love to know some more about how you found this session. So we've got a poll. Did you find this useful? What else can we help out with? We want to make these sessions as useful for you. Obviously, we have fun. We're goofing off talking about manatees all day. So as long as we can make it useful for you, that's where we have fun. We also have a lot of other ways to get help, get your questions answered if you're struggling with something. We have Discord office hours. In fact, our dear friend Marcelo, who is awesome. He dives in on Twitch, shows you in detail exactly how to do what you're working for. We talk about like more general topics in these sessions. He's really specific. So he's a swell guy. So stick around with him. We needed the swell for the ocean pun, Harmony. It's a surfing term. Let me think what else. Yes. Recording.
Join our Discord, and yes, this recording will be available on YouTube afterwards. So subscribe, and you'll be able to check out future events as well.
And don't forget, don't leave without your promo code. Enter code manatee at checkout. No, I'm joking. Screencast at checkout. Thanks for hanging out with us today, and definitely test it out. Hopefully, you can get for your next biology presentation all you want. With Descript Pro. So, Harmony, what did I miss?
No, I think you covered it, Jack. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us today. Really appreciate your questions. So come swim with us with the manatees. We would love to hear from you. I'm Harmony at Descript.com, Jack at Descript.com. So don't hesitate to reach out.
Yeah, and we had a blast today. So thanks for hanging out with us. I think that's it. Yeah, I think off to hang out with our Ocean Ohana, and yeah, we'll catch you next time on the waves of this beautiful blue planet that we live on. So we do webinars like every week. So come check us back out here. Other than that, I think it's time to say so long. So see y'all later.
See you next time.
Bye.